Okay, so first we're gonna make these little panels, and so you're gonna have an inside one and an outside one. So the inside one, which is white, is going to be 6 inches in length, and then this pink one will be around 8.5 inches. So let's go ahead and make the panel. So I'll start with the inside one. So their width is gonna be the same. We're going to make a chain of 6. So that's 6. And then in the chain number 5, you're gonna go in there and do a single crochet. Go in the next chain, do another single crochet, and then keep going down until you have a total of 5 single crochets in this row. Okay, so that's my 5 single crochets. Now I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to do the same thing. Some people do like a chain 1 over here, but I like to just continue doing single crochets because it makes the sides of your work very straight. So I'm just going to do a single crochet in there, and it looks pretty straight, which is why I like doing this way. And you're just going to go all the way down with these single crochets, and by the end of every row, just make sure that you have a total of 5. And you're just going to keep going until you get to a length of around 6 inches this way, and then you'll be done with the inside panel. A little interjection: when you're doing the outside panel, mine is the pink one, make sure you leave both ends kind of long, so that way we can use it to sew it together. Okay, so now we're going to begin like rolling the cake together, and what you're going to do, you're going to place the white one inside and maybe leave like around like an inch, I suppose, and kind of fold it over. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sew it so that the white, just this tip up here, is kind of sandwiched between these 2 pink parts. So I'm going to take my needle, and it doesn't have to be too neat or anything, it's just to make sure that the inside doesn't start like unraveling. And that's kind of enough. You can kind of tie these ends together, just end it off however you want, and we can tuck this in at the very end. But then what you're going to be doing is you're going to just start rolling this down. As you can see, it seems like there's a distance here, but as you keep rolling it, it kind of like shrinks down. And then now we're going to take the pink and we're going to sew it over here, so that way the cake doesn't unravel. And for this whipped cream part, you're going to make a magic circle with a total of 6 single crochets in there. So do a chain 1 and then 6 single crochets. My cat is joining me now. So that is 6 single crochets. Now we're going to pull this string here to tighten it. And we're going to go into that first single crochet, which is a little hard to see with the white color. But go to that first one and pull through. So you chain 1, and now we're going to be doing 3 stitches in that very first stitch, and every one is going to have 3 stitches. So we're going to do a slip stitch, then a chain, then a double crochet, then a chain, and then a slip stitch. And this is all in one stitch. And you're going to do this for every stitch there is. So onto the second stitch here, we'll do slip stitch, chain, double crochet, oops, double crochet, chain, and a slip stitch. I'll show you one more time. We'll do a slip stitch in this third stitch here, chain, double crochet, chain, and another slip stitch. As you can see, each one of those gives us like one of these little petals, and since we had six single crochets in this magic ring here, we're gonna have 6 of these little petals, and that's what the strawberry will go on. So go ahead and do the rest of these, and then you'll be done with the little whipped cream. Okay, so I finished the little whipped cream thing, and I'm just going to go ahead and pull the yarn through, and we're going to leave it kind of long so we can sew it on, but then you can just cut it, and you'll be done. For the little berry, we're going to start with a magic ring again, and this time we're going to do a chain 1 and 4 single crochets. You can pull that string in the back to tighten it. And because there's only 4 chains here, it can get a little confusing. But just try and count like 4, 3, 2, 1. So we'll go into this stitch, pull through, do a chain 1, and now we're on row 2. For row 2, you're going to put a single crochet in each stitch for a total of 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, as you can see, it looks pretty confusing. I'm just gonna kind of flip it inside out. So this was row 1, this is row 2. You're gonna go into the first stitch from row 1 and pull through. And now we'll start row 3, which is our last stitch. And for row 3, we're going to do a normal single crochet, then an increase. So chain 1, and we'll do a normal single crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 single crochets in that second stitch. So at the end of this row, you should have a total of 6. So I'm done with row 3. I'm going to pull through again, and cut the yarn. Okay. So this is the little berry, but let's add the little green top. Okay, so I cut some green yarn, it's like a foot or something, and I just thread it through this yarn needle. And then you can go ahead and stuff the ends of your strawberry into it. And what we're going to be doing, you're going to go needle going in through that like hole in the center, and you're going to come out from the side. So you're going to stick your needle in through here and come out through that space between row 2 and 3. You're just going to make this little like divot thing there. So once you stick it through the first place, you're just going to tie a knot so it stays secure. And then you can keep going. So I like to go on the opposite side. So if I did one here, I'll do one like over here. So that way you can kind of start to like cinch the opening. And yeah, you can just do it however you want. There's no like perfect way. I'm just showing you how I do it. And you can also like go over all of them again to make the green stand out a little more. I'm going to keep adding the green, and I'll show you how I ended off. Okay, so this is like the last little green leaf I want to put on there. And I'm just going to slide my needle under a random thread. Pull it. And then just like tie a little knot from there. But you can tie it however you want, but do make sure to just leave this thread kind of long because we're going to be using it to sew all of this together. Okay, so now we're going to place the berry on top of the cream, and I'm going to put it on the side like that. If you want to just glue it, that might honestly be easier, but just some notes. The back of the cream has, like, it isn't as pretty, so I like to keep that in the back. So I prefer to make sure that my strawberry will kind of face the front like that rather than like something on the side like that where that little divot is more visible. But anyways, I'm going to take my green yarn that's still attached to the berry, and I'm just going to kind of pull it down from under. I pull it out from under like that, and now I'm just going to start sewing it onto the cream. Like that. And I'll go up and through a couple more times just to make sure it's secure, but there's no really specific way on how to do it. Once you get something you're happy with though, you can tie it off and you'll be done with the little accent, and all that's left to do is to just sew it on top of the cake. So I finished sewing that end together, and I'm gonna cut all this stuff off and weave in all the ends later. But now we're going to sew on the whipped cream part. So I'm gonna take this white yarn that I kind of had from the cream, and I'm just going to put the strawberry on and sew it on like we have been doing. I'm gonna make that the back. And you can just use whatever method you would like just to keep it secure, or you could glue it, which would probably be a lot easier, but I don't have glue at the moment. And yes, we're just gonna go all the way around sewing it on, and then once you're done, you can weave all of the ends in. Okay, so I weaved in all the ends, and my little cake is done, and hopefully you found this tutorial helpful. If you did, please let me know. If there's anything you want me to make or any improvements I can make, also let me know, and thank you for watching.